G'day mates, how you going? Do you know the time? Do you know the date? Do you know your resting heart rate? When you are rested, when you are stopped, when you are not practicing exercise, maybe working or relaxing, do you know the level of your heart rate? Do you know how many beats per minute it goes to? Well, let's discuss some features of smartwatches. Do you wear watches every day? Is your watch, or is the watch you wear most of the time a smartwatch? Is it an analog watch? Is it a digital watch? What kind of watch is it? Do you prefer traditional ones? Do you prefer smartwatches? If you do wear smartwatches, what is the most useful feature that you think smartwatches have in your life? Are smartwatches more practical? Do they serve as an assistant to you? What is the difference between having a smartwatch and a traditional watch for business? What is the difference between having a traditional watch and a smartwatch in your personal life? Would you get distracted by having a smartwatch? Yeah, perhaps receiving messages all the time, or receiving calls, or receiving notifications from your watch, from your smartwatch. Would that confuse you? Would that distract you a little bit? Yeah. Do you like the features that come from a smartwatch? Are there any interesting features in your opinion on a traditional watch? What would motivate you to have a smartwatch? What would motivate you to have a traditional watch? Would you say that smartwatches can assist people on getting into a burnout, or would they help people avoiding a burnout with some alarms for moments, for breaks, maybe exercise, maybe some meditation? Or actually, would you feel guilty for being overwhelmed from a lot of notifications that could come from a smartwatch? If you do have a smartwatch, do you monitor your heart rate? Do you monitor your blood pressure with smartwatches? Is it possible? How often would you do that? Would that motivate you to have a smartwatch to take care of your health, or at least to monitor your health, to get assistance whenever necessary? Well, these are some questions. These are some things that we could be discussing in this video here. Feel free to comment in the comment section below as I go through the topic here with you. Now, when was the first watch created? When was the first wristwatch created? Well, it was back in 1810 when Queen of Naples asked a watchmaker to add a small clock to a gold bracelet. And that's where the story began. And then, of course, a lot of people, some years later, maybe like 100 years later, at World War I, a lot of soldiers started wearing watches, wristwatches, as a practical tool to check the time. But also, at war, if you watch movies, they use the watches to give directions. The enemy's at 1 o'clock. The enemy's at 6 o'clock. So they use watches, wristwatches, also to help him give directions. Now, nowadays, as I was mentioning in the beginning of this video, smartwatches, they are not for just showing the time, just keeping the time anymore. We use smartwatches nowadays to count our steps when we are walking, when we are exercising, to track our sleep. Some people sleep with their smartwatches, and the watch will track how well you are sleeping and give you some suggestions for a better sleeping habit. Watches can also give you directions. You can have a GPS attached to your watch, and you can see the directions in your watch. You can receive messages in your smartwatch. If people send you messages, you can see messages, you can reply messages, even voice messages with the click of a button, or maybe speaking with the watch and saying, oh, let me send a voice message to this person. And then you start speaking. The message will be recorded, sent in your command. They are basically mini assistants for us nowadays. Now, what do you think are more sold nowadays? Smartwatches or traditional watches? Which one is more popular? Now, why are smartwatches so popular nowadays, actually? Do you think smartwatches cause more or less distractions than a cell phone or a smartphone? What causes more distractions? A smartwatch or a smartphone? Well, one thing I know for sure, based on interviews, studies, surveys, a lot of people like smartwatches a lot because smartwatches help them keep track of their health. And when they wear smartwatches, they check their steps, how they're sleeping, and even their diet habits. They check their heart rate, they check the blood pressure, and they make sure like they are keeping track of their health. And when they see some changes, some variations in blood pressure or heart rate, they will do their best to keep their health at its healthiest with good habits. On the other side, you could start feeling guilty for being overwhelmed by non-stop notifications. So yes, you gotta be careful. If you have some good control of your time, perhaps you could even shut down, like turn off notifications and just make sure that every now and then in a specific moment, you would go and check if there's like any new message, anything that is important to be checking at that moment. Because honestly speaking, I don't believe that if something urgent happens, something important, okay, maybe you can go and check, but something urgent happens, people are not going to send you a message if something urgent is to happen. Most people, I believe, if it's something really urgent, people are going to call you, not send you a message because they want you to pick up at that exact moment. And since 24, a lot of people have started to use smartwatches to monitor their heart rate, to make sure that they are doing their best to keep track of their health. And actually, about 20% of patients from the study are more worried about their health, which means that they are taking more care of their health and leading a more healthy or a healthier lifestyle. Now, here are some questions for us to discuss. Please comment in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. For instance, are there any advantages on traditional watches over smartwatches? If so, what are these advantages? And again, how can smartwatches be helpful for us to improve our health? How might smartwatches help us feel more worried about our health and be more careful, take more care of or take a better care of our health? Are we supposed to use smartwatch health data to make medical decisions? Can we actually use this smartwatches health data and perhaps share this with a doctor or share this with artificial intelligence and get some suggestions as to what we could do to lead a healthier lifestyle? Now, especially comparing with smartphones, do you think smartwatches help reduce distractions, or they actually get us more distracted with the notifications? If you turned off the notifications, would you be able to manage your time wisely into checking what you have on a message or maybe information that you need to check on a smartwatch from time to time? Do you believe that smartwatches will always look the same? If not, what might smartwatches look like in the future? Do you think there will be some different wearable technology? Do you think we wear smartwatches in our wrist or maybe somewhere else in our bodies? If we wore them in our wrist, do you think they would look differently or look quite the same? What can technology do to smartwatches in the future? How could smartwatches develop? Do you have any ideas? If there are some wise people out there, we can definitely brainstorm some ideas and perhaps even start a business together. Who knows? Get in touch. Are smartwatches a useful tool? Or are smartwatches just a fashion trend? Don't forget to comment. Thanks for watching. Stay educated. Knowledge is healthy. Take care of yourselves. Have a great one.